Hello and warm welcome to Consulting Without Borders Perspectives, a monthly show that brings to you the best in international consulting, global expertise, and inspiring leadership. I'm Victoria Olska, your host and moderator for today's show, and today is our 30th episode. That's right, 30 times we've been live since the beginning of this broadcast. This broadcast is brought to you by the Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation, a US-based nonprofit organization working internationally and dedicated to celebrating the life and inspirational work of the late Gabriel Al-Salem, a global consultant and a global leader. Through our initiatives, we're striving to honor Gabriel's legacy, his profound impact on the consulting industry, his commitment to excellence and advocacy for sustainability and a positive economic and social change on a global scale. Happy December 1st, everyone. Happy first day of winter. Hello, Elvira Faizulina. Best wishes from Kiev. Thank you for joining us. It certainly doesn't feel like winter where I am in now. I'm in Florida, where there is this everlasting summer. Please drop us comments and tell us where you are tuning in from. It's always great to see our participants who are usually joining from around the globe. Again, I saw that comment from Anya, joining from the Netherlands, Elvira, and I know there will be more people joining us as we are starting rolling with our show. So welcome everybody, and a huge shout out also to those of you who will be tuning in to the replay of this episode. We are currently live on Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation's pages on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as on LinkedIn. So you can join from any of these platforms and drop us a line, ask your questions, and share your perspectives. And of course, please don't forget to hit the like button. That means a world to us, and it also helps to spread the word about this broadcast a little bit broader. Welcome, welcome everyone. Just seeing where people are tuning in from. Hello, hello, and welcome. And I'm absolutely delighted today to welcome a speaker who represents the organization that became one of the winners of the Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation's annual International Award for Excellence in Consulting in 2024, this year, in the Global Leadership category. Welcome, Ron. Thank you for joining us, calling in from Italy. Hello, always good to have you with us. This award that I talked about, the Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation's International Award for Excellence in Consulting, was a testament to this organization's commitment to international professional standards, their dedication to excellence, and their pivotal role in aiding businesses and organizations during wartime, which contributed significantly to the country, Ukraine, endurance and victory. Our speaker today is Olga Trofymova, President of the All-Ukrainian Consulting Association, CMC-Ukraine. Welcome, Olga. Hello. So good to see you. Thank you so much for finding the time in your very busy schedule to join us today.
Thank you so much. And for us, of course, for all of us, I mean, for all CMC Ukraine and actually for all our country, it's a great pleasure and big honor to participate in this broadcast. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Of course, it's always a pleasure. And again, in our broadcast, we bring our winners with love, and we welcome them all to share their work. But Ukraine, of course, holds a special place in our heart, and I'm really honored, Olga, that you're giving us this time today in all these challenges and difficulties that you and your country are going through now. Congratulations again on winning the award, and I know you will talk more about it as we go on with our show. And I just wanted to ask you, can you please share with us where you're tuning in from today? Because I wanted to say you're joining in from Kiev, but I just learned a few minutes ago as we were preparing that you are not in Kiev at this time. Can you please tell us
Well,
where you are? And
yeah, okay.
you're
I'm
doing?
actually, yes, I'm from Kharkiv, and from 24th of February, I'm a bit homeless. So right now I'm in Berlin. I've just came for the conference for ecosystem connection between Ukraine and Berlin. So it's, yeah, I'm in a hotel right now, and I should move from lobby to the room. And I was lucky to be on time on your broadcast.
Right. It's a little bit challenging sometimes to be in a hotel because you never know what they might start hosting, or some kind of a coffee break, or a lot of people all of a sudden come. But thank you so much again. And it's great you're in Berlin. I love Berlin. I have family in Berlin, also my Ukrainian cousins who are living there now. So they often join this broadcast or watch it later. So I also want to say hello to them. And Berlin is a great place. I lived there and really, really enjoyed it. So as we are starting with our discussion today, and we will be talking about a little bit about your work and CMC-Ukraine. But before we do that, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the very challenging situation in Ukraine now. Ukraine is always in our heart, in our thoughts, and we all hope for victory and peace as soon as possible. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Olga, I know you have a presentation for us to tell us more about the work that CMC Ukraine is doing and has been doing since the beginning of the war. And maybe we can start from there. And also, just to give us a little bit a better understanding of your role, can you please tell us just in a few words how you came to consulting and what your perhaps other roles are? Because I know you do quite a few things in addition to being the president of CMC Ukraine.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I try to escape from this question. Yeah, I really have a lot of caps on my kid-size head. Yeah, but I'm in management consultancy. I'm for 24 years probably. So yeah, more than 20 for sure. So I'm professional management consultant and certified management consultant already for more than 10 years. Yeah, let's stop with that.
Okay, I think that's enough of a presentation about you with your experience.
I can actually add that I'm also, how to say, heritage at one of the oldest consultancy firm in Ukraine, which was founded by my father in 1991. And I'm a head of this company, Quality Center, already for more than 15 years.
So your consulting work runs in your family, right? You're not the first generation consultant.
Exactly.
You kind of moved into this industry already from your father's side. Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. So I guess now we can start with the presentation and talk more about how consulting evolved since the beginning of war.
Thank you. Actually, of course, we should start probably not from the first day of the war, but a bit earlier. And let us start, yes, about our organization. We were founded more than 10 years ago. So it's not just a organization which arose when the full-scale invasion started. But our mission as as the mission of the many of management consultant professional association is really to develop professional standards and develop profession in Ukraine, to develop and maintain our profession, of course, in a good level, in a worldwide level. And already, as you see, from 2011, we become a member of ICMCI. And in 2022, we become an exclusive member of FIACR. This is also a European organization for management consultants. So what we did before, of course, we have also winners of, by the way, before of Gabriel Al-Salem's Foundation and ICMCI, Konstantinos Savart. And we were focused exactly on trainings for consultants, on conference for consultants, again, what most of associations in the whole world do, including, of course, exclusive rights for certified management consultant certification. But just before the war, during the 9 months, we were preparing 35 management consultants from Azov region, and all of them were from Mariupol, Melitopol, Zaporizhia, Donetsk region, and just in after celebrating this 35 newly certified management consultants, as you see, it was exactly on 23rd of February at 6 p.m. Of course, it was online project because it was during COVID period, but just to give you, our mood and our situation when just some hours when before the full invasion started. And as you understand, so we simply didn't have a lot of time to how to change, because actually, of course, nobody was prepared for that, nobody could believe in it, and already from the next day we start to support each other. I don't want to say save each other, but really to support each other. And we were already a community, but we understood ourselves as a community much more. And what else we understood? We understood that there is a big need from businesses who just stopped the business, who were just lost, as we were actually, right, and just didn't know what to do. And that is why just already in March, I mean, in some days, it still sounds a bit strange, but we really made a call for mobilization of management consultants of Ukraine. So it was kind of open call, and we had more than 100 applications from people who would like to join us. So it was announced that it's kind of volunteer support for Ukrainian businesses. We had even, participants, recruiters from abroad, from other countries, and they really wanted to support Ukrainian businesses on a pro bono for further movement. So this is how it was started, and already in April. We, first, of course, we already started to make kind of a consortia with our DIA business. So it's Export Entrepreneurship Promotion Office. And we already settled somehow a methodology, how we would like to do it for our businesses. But then we were supported by GIZ, but again, it was initiated by us.
Thank you very much for giving us sort of the broader picture of how this work started. And I just wanted again to congratulate you on this great achievement and on winning the award also with this great project, which I was just fascinated when we got it, and the name actually talked already about mobilization of consultants. And if you can tell us a little bit more about this project, and also what happened after it was finished, because of course this is not the only project that you've been doing, and it's good to know how it's been continued.
Okay, thank you. Well, you know, we all say about VUCA times, uncertain times, and agility, flexibility. But really, in our case, all of us, I mean, all consultants were also in this situation, you know, leaving our homes, leaving our husbands, leaving our jobs. So everything was changing, and everything was unpredictable. Absolutely unpredictable. And we were in such a situation again, and we should, can you imagine, we really should motivate our clients, our companies, come back to their jobs, come back to business, and proceed working, because of course Ukraine needs working economy. It was crucial, and it's still crucial and very important for all our country. And this was a really unique challenge and unique situation which we had. And as you see, really, we had actually more than 500 applications from businesses, from different types of businesses, actually, right? So it was really open, and it was the first project in Ukraine like this, you know. So it was already in April when we started, you know. So this was exactly how we started. But again, taking into consideration that we should be professional, ethic, yes, we should have kind of methodology, so which we didn't have. So we just started, we just divide, you know, some kind of, we tried to group consulting services, group consultants. So of course, in volunteer base, all of them had regular meetings, and just developed just short methodology how we could, so we standardized our consulting services, made it shorter, made it really kind of Uberization of consultancy services. This is exactly was our approach, right? So we didn't have time to make 2 months of diagnostics and then 2 months on rewriting big consulting reports, as I did actually years ago. We should do it really fast and really impactful, you know, really with a kind of result for the companies. And of course, there were a lot of feedbacks and results afterward. Thank you so much. You came me back to business, because I stopped the business and just went to volunteer. I just went to barricades. I just went to support our soldiers, to support but again, we need working economy. And this is how it started, you know? So again, not to lose this professionality. Of course, we even had this trainings on ISO 27000, and again, of course, we had a selection for consultants, but again, we had a really wide range of consulting services, short-term, very quick, online, and with later on with the results. So this is kind of how it was look like. Of course, with a lot of digital instruments, with a lot of digitalization, you know, which was possible in such a very short time. But yeah, we did it. And of course, the most consultancy services which were needed, it was mostly on marketing and sales, because all supply chains, most of supply chains was disrupted, but also strategy and operation management. So this was how we started, yeah, and how we had then our yeah, it's funny to say, but still already in July, when we had a big conference in Istanbul, we already showed kind of success story. I wouldn't say that it's success story, because we still do not have this success, which we are waiting already for 3 years. But it was resilient stories of our businesses, which really not just come back to the working place, but also start to increase their businesses, to export, to, you know, to have some positive results, which is very important actually for their people. Because what is the really big difference between peaceful time projects and wartime projects. Yeah, it's this exactly this human-centric, or I would say people-centric approach, you know, because we always should be flexible and thinking about people, not only about results, not only about some millions, money, whatever. Yeah, we should think about our people first, and this is really difference which we had, and we should work with. Yes, and this is what is resilience and flexibility from us. Yeah, there are some stories. Yeah, just finishing, and yes, for this project, which we also showed all over the world, in many conferences, in many trade missions, you know, which we visited just to show our resilience stories, right? We also had these 2 global awards. This is Konstantinos International Award, and which we had also for this project, and Gabriel Al-Salem.
Congratulations again on this, the project, the great achievement, and of course, all these awards are well deserved. And it was our honor to see your application and to be able to do our very little part in honoring the great work that you and CMC-Ukraine have been doing. And as you were talking, we got a few comments, and there was a comment from Ron Finch, who kind of summarized what I've been thinking about, is that it's just impossible to imagine being in such a tragic, challenging circumstances. However, adversity has a way of also bringing people together, and it forces evolution and growth, as CMC-Ukraine has demonstrated. And that's certainly what's been happening during this very challenging time. And I also wanted to acknowledge a note from Nadia, who is specifically thanking Olga, you, for your great leadership.
Okay.
And she is a part of the CMC-Ukraine community. And also...
and she's exactly this graduate from business school and came in from Melitopol already when it was occupied.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Nadia. It's a pleasure to see you with us today. Ron also had an interesting comment that as he was listening to you, that it's the marketing that required the greatest effort, because he says, I would have expected supply chain interruption to be the greatest challenge. But as you were explaining, it was the marketing. And that's very interesting to learn, as I was also listening to your description of this project, and I know we'll hear more about the other projects. These are all great lessons, and I don't want to call them great because nobody wanted this to happen. But as you were going through all these challenges, you almost created these lessons for possibly any other nation, any other consulting and business industry in the country, and some other countries that could be conflict affected. And you definitely can share a lot of expertise in this regard. Not that I'm wishing that any country is conflict affected, but unfortunately this happens in our very unstable world these days. Hello, Gulsum. I saw she's saying hello from Almaty, Kazakhstan. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Olga, and yeah, I know that, well, after completing this project that won the award, you, of course, you didn't stop at that, and you continued working, doing other projects. So what has happened since then? It's been a year, and maybe you can share a few more stories and successes, as we would call them, that you and CMC Ukraine has had in this, again, under this extremely challenging circumstances.
Yeah, with pleasure. I will share it, but first I will also answer your question about how to say what could be shared for other countries during the conflict, right?
Right.
Yeah, of course. Again, it's difficult to say expertise or success or whatever, but yeah, we would be glad to share our experience, right? So first, I would say, of course, we should be open-minded and flexible. Yeah, flexible to everything what is happening. Yeah, because it's very difficult really to accept it. You know, the first, of course, nobody wants to accept it. So you should be open-minded and flexible for everything what is happening, but of course not. But stay. It's very important. Stay professional and ethical. So definitely not to lose it, you know. So that's why if we are talking about professional consultancy, so yeah, all these attributes should be. The second is, of course, as I told you already, human-centric or people-centric, right? It's very important. But from another side, result-oriented. It's also very important with all this, you know, features which we have as a result. And the third one, of course, again, we should be open for everybody from one side. From another side, taking into consideration wartime, we should check all our newcomers or new partners directly with the security control, with reputation, with everything. This is really important and crucial during these days. And of course, I am with pleasure share our other project which we had. Actually, we had, I mean, all of our consultants probably have had more projects, but as CMC Ukraine, I will just share some slides with the project which we had after that first Uberization project. We really call it like this, Uberization of
no, it's quite remarkable. Yeah, this Uberization that you were able to be so flexible that to basically completely change the way that consultants normally work, like you said, with a lot of research and then preparing certain reports to the client, going back and forth. Here it just had to be extremely streamlined, done quickly and with the maximum effect.
As we say, you just sit with the client at the same table, just put our yes and work together. This is the only way how we could be supportive.
This is a great lesson for anyone who, if ever ends up in the same terrible situation, they can certainly learn from that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and could you my presentation? Yes, thank you. And so what happened really during the first half a year? We had 440 projects, mini projects with 60 consultants. And next year in 2023, we had also online School of Marketing and Business Development Planning. As you see, also with 50 participants. And in August, October, we had consultancy services for Mykolaiv business. And then we had also part in a big project as access to finance, which were implemented by Deutsche Sparkasse Stiftung. And we had 145 applications and 68 implemented projects with, as you see, 300, more than 300 employees and with 37 consultants. So it was a bit smaller amount of companies. I mean, as you see, much smaller, but with a deeper dive to each company, and and probably bigger, as you say, success. But I would say just bigger results. But again, we were more focused for next years in 2023 and in 2024. We were already more focused on the companies which are manufacturing companies, which are located in regions which is really in Zaporizhia, Odessa, Donetsk, Dnipropetrovsk, Kiev. So we really tried to touch exactly that regions which were more, in a war, affected by the war. But yeah, this is how we worked. And right, so as main of results, we had, of course, a lot of again with the results with marketing, new markets, new sales, for example, new financing. And then we also had this 2 more projects, one with USAID with 40 participants, but 110 application forms. And again, it's 40 companies, exactly manufacturing companies, because we really believe that manufacturing definitely could be more impactful for the Ukrainian economy in the nearest future. We had also a conference, which we could see in our YouTube channel. Then we had a project with, we just finished some months ago with 100 enterprises, which we also had with Deutsche Sparkasse Stiftung in 2024. Again, mostly manufacturing, but also clients of the banks, which had also financial support from banks and consulting support from us. So yeah, I really like this picture, but really what we are doing, we are building our ecosystem. We're really trying to, do it in a better way. I think this is exactly what we can do right now. And of course, our ecosystem, which we are building, it's really based on this people-centric approach, on resilience of our companies, and of course sustainable of our companies, and of course trust is the most important thing ever. Yeah, I think this is all from my presentation, not to come back to our slides, but yeah, this is our resilience mindset, positive mindset, which we have by our own, share between each other. We really have such a kind of meetings of a good resilient stories, or good stories, and it's really kind of supporting each other, and then gives this energy to our clients, to our customers.
Thank you, Olga. And I wanted to talk more about manufacturing, because especially automotive manufacturing, because I know that in addition to your role of being president of CMC-Ukraine, you're also the manager for Ukrainian automotive and mobility cluster, right? And it's for European manufacturing together. And I know this is also a big part of the work that you're doing. But we had a question, and I would like to bring it back, please, from Dr. Sunil Abral, who is, I know, joining us from India, because he's also one of the winners of our award. And he was also our speaker on one of these episodes a couple months ago. Thank you very much, Dr. Sunil, for joining us. So his question is, can consultants offer innovative solutions to rebuild Ukraine?
Yes, of course. Yeah, first of all our project was innovative, because you can find it somewhere, anywhere, So it's just a really innovative approach. It's a really innovative approach to the short-term emergency consultancy services. As a whole, it's an innovative project. But of course, when we are talking about precise, projects, companies, of course, we support them with innovation. And you know that in Ukraine, it's kind of boom of innovation startups, but don't forget that most of manufacturing companies also has a lot of innovation inside. So it's traditionally was really built in a manufacturing company, this kind of innovation bureau, or we call it in a different way, but this is how it works. And again, most of our consultants, by the way, they also kind of participants of innovation ecosystems, and I'm also manager Ukraine of AT manufacturing. So we do a lot of warming up innovation communities in Ukraine. And again, of course, do we need with our clients or for our clients?
Thank you for this answer. And with that, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your work, specifically for on the manufacturing side, the automotive manufacturing, because I know that you do see Ukraine as a potential hub for automotive innovation and manufacturing, and how can consultants contribute to realizing this vision, particularly in fostering the EU integration?
I would say pretty directly. So, because of course, any company, and of course, automotive manufacturing companies, they definitely would need, they do need a support, either to to standardize or to certify their product or their system, or to support them with marketing or internationalization or strategy development or choosing markets. I mean, all range of consultancy services are definitely applicable for automotive market in Ukraine. Most of them actually already somehow internationalized, but just need further steps of support or different types of support, because, okay, you asked me before for the precise concrete story, right? So I could give you the names, for example, company Megatex. This is a company which we worked actually before the war, and 1 month before the full invasion, we had a kind of celebration of a big step of their development. It's international automotive certification with international auditors, and we celebrated in Bakhmut. I'm sure everybody knows what's this name. We really celebrated in Bakhmut. In Bakhmut, in a Artyomovsky champagne plant. It was really, really great because they have a plant in Konstantinovka. And of course, when the full-scale invasion started, and right now Bakhmut, destroyed totally, right? So they should move to another location with equipment, with people, with everything. And it's a lot of, how to say, new projects came, just on volunteer base. A bit another story, right? But they still produce high quality. They still operate with a high quality management system, and they export their products to Europe. Congratulations to them. And this Monday, I mean, we still, 5 days ago, yes, on Monday 25th, we had an automotive forum in Ukraine, Ukrainian Automotive and Mobility Forum, and they made a speech also about their resilience story. And many other companies gave their speeches. So, of course, they need this support. They should be supported. The question is that it's a bit different type of consultancy, but yes.
Yes, and just like you said, it's a little bit different type of consultancy. Dr. Gabriel commented that perhaps the post-war requires different approach to innovation, and that's what you've been just describing.
Of course,
as
innovation is everywhere.
Yes. Right. And I also wanted to acknowledge someone who just joined us from Colorado. Hello. Maria, thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. I just saw the comment. It's always great to see people joining us from all over the world. Today we're having participants from Ukraine, of course, colleagues of Olga. We have Dr. Sunil from India. We have people from the United States like Maria from different state. We have Ron joining us from Italy, Gulsum from Almaty, Kazakhstan. It's always great to know that the topics that we're bringing are of interest. And again, please don't forget to put the like, to hit the like button on any platform that you are watching us now. It could be your Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We are no longer on X for a reason that we really don't want to be part of the platform that's been unfortunately propagating the information the lies, and that's been supporting the election of Donald Trump. So we are no longer on X. This is our little rebellion. I know it doesn't probably mean much, but we don't want to be in part of that. Olga, again, yeah, thank you so much for all this great information. I do still have a few questions, and there might be more questions coming in. Okay, let's check. Yeah, Ron is asking again. Can you read this question? So he heard about Ukraine's success in quickly developing advanced military-based manufacturing, such as drones, for example. Has the automotive industry been involved in military stimulus growth?
Well, what should I say? I would say, I don't know any company in Ukraine which is absolutely not involved. And thank you for that. Otherwise, no chance. I would say even about CMC-Ukraine, we have 3 active members who are in a military service, in the front line. And of course, each of us support our victory.
Right. Just like all of us around the globe, whatever we can do, we support the victory. And of course, it comes as no surprise then that any industry that is currently operating in Ukraine is part of this big goal, right, to bring victory as quickly as possible. And I had a couple more questions, but let me ask you at this point, how do you think international partnerships can support the role of consultants in Ukraine at this time of still a big challenge, and also post-war, when there are recovery efforts?
Good question. From one side, I would say this is the strategy which me personally I have, and I'm sure we all CMC-Ukraine could share it. And we had this strategy before, when we just were founded as CMC-Ukraine. Of course, a partnership with international consultants, with international organization, and it's very important for us. We should have worldwide professional standards. But yes, we do understand also our risks, especially post-war risks. And of course, in our case, if we are talking about management consultancy, we do understand that there are a lot of international support and capacity building, everything. And sometimes they either do not really count on local consultants and have only international, or vice versa. And this is really could be 2 ways of story, right? One way is really Ukrainian consultants would be integrated, and again, not just any person who said, "Oh, I'm a new consultant," So professional consultants, certified consultants. This is important, and this is what we do not see right now. And so it could be kind of a good story, right? If it will be integrated. And of course, in this case, we will have more professional consultants in Ukraine, because of course, if it will be like this, of course, local consultants working with international, they are growing their competence. And another story, which some countries already have, their management consultants disappeared. They have only international consultants in the country. We had such a study tours to some countries, I will not point out, but there are some countries which simply don't have local consultants at all. So hopefully we wouldn't have such a scenario. That's why CMC-Ukraine exists. And it's definitely one of our mission, not to be, how to say, disappeared as a management consultancy in Ukraine. And I'm really thankful to all our members, to our board members, because we do have actually high educational degree in management consultancy, and the head of this specialty is also a member of our board. So this is important, but this is not so, as actually all over the world right now, even we are talking about politics, war, and other stuff, it's unpredictable. So for Ukraine, management consultancy is also one of the factors which is unpredictable. But we are working hard.
Right. And my other question would be how you manage to maintain these high professional standards and commitment to excellence under such extraordinary circumstances, the wartime. And you just said that basically, yeah, it's almost like in the nature of Ukrainian consultants to continue to develop professionally no matter what.
Yeah, actually, again, we didn't stop. We simply didn't have time for the break, so which means that, again, on 23rd of February, we just finished our and it was actually Defenders Day also. I mean, several consultants make their presentations for achieving this CMC degree. It was 23rd of February, and already in March we've started. We went further. During these 3 years almost, right? We had several trainings on ISO 2700. We had, each half a year we had international conferences on management consultancy. In 2022, it was on a weekly base. Right now, it's twice per month. We had kind of meetings with professional speakers on professional topics. Quite often, we invite our foreign colleagues. And we do have twice a year certification of management consultants. And in 2 weeks, we will have also our next election in our organization, and also we have 8 new or recertified management consultants. So this is how it works all over the world, and again, we didn't stop.
And this is quite remarkable, of course, that even in this extremely hard situations, you continue, develop yourself and your organization and all of your consultants in this commitment to excellence and the best practices and professional standards for your clients.
We even have launched a learning management system. So we have our own platform, and it was launched again last year. So we even made a lot of steps further, even more than it was before the full scale.
Again, this is quite remarkable, and certainly a great example and lesson for any other country that can end up in a conflict. This is just such a great example of resilience and this desire for victory. Thank you, Olga, for sharing all these details. Usually, we don't dive into politics during this broadcast because it is quite controversial, and we just try to talk more about global challenges, economics and social change. But with the current situation in Ukraine and also recent developments in the United States, such as Trump being elected president, this topic is hard to avoid. So I just wanted to get your perspective on how you think Trump being elected president again might impact Ukraine. and particularly given the recent statements, but his pick for the Ukrainian, the envoy to Ukraine. What is your perspective? I just want to say that I've been so frustrated, not just with the Trump being elected new president. That's a huge frustration, but even with the recent 4 years or 3 years of the Ukrainian war, I think the United States and the Western countries could have done so much more for Ukraine, and unfortunately, it's not been done. But now, of course, things might get different, perhaps even more challenging. So, what is your opinion on this?
But definitely the only thing what we could have our opinion on this, right? Well,
exactly.
Yes. I would quote my friend, who is much smarter than I, and he said, Trump is so unpredictable, and we expected from him only bad things on Ukraine. But taking into consideration that he's so unpredictable, so probably deviation of these bad things could be only on a positive scenario. So that's why we are really thinking and hope that his predictability would have positive deviation, and he will surprise us with something positive, not only expected things which everybody feel in the air.
So basically, you're saying that when you hit the rock bottom, it just cannot get much worse. It can only get a little bit better, at least. Is that? Yeah, certainly. We hope, although it's hard to imagine, just given all the recent, developments. Unfortunately. So we just can only hope for the best. And I wish the current administration under Biden, could have done more to protect Ukraine, because it seems like US wants Ukraine to function as a protectorate from Russia. And but on the other hand, they don't want to protect Ukraine. And that's quite a very unfortunate, strategy that the United States has chosen, and as well as the other Western countries. So let's hope for the best. And I know that with such wonderful people and professionals, and such strong professionals committed to resilience, to winning, to rebuilding, Ukraine will have it all. And on this note, we are approaching the end of the hour. So Olga, if you had any final comments, you're welcome to share them. And I'll keep watching the chat, seeing if we get any more questions.
I just want probably to say also some words, just, the whole world is so much changing, and so much changing every day, that I should say that management consulting as a whole, as a term, is also changing. So it's quite difficult to say, about the absolutely separate profession, management consulting. I would say it's really changing a lot. We should be more interfere with the businesses, with the clients, and more how to say, be trusted to each other. It's quite difficult, We are talking a lot about how to be trusted advisor, how to be trusted management consultant, but how to trust each other between management consultants. This is probably the next topic which could be definitely seen as a as a real topic, and we should really think more about our community, because we, as you're absolutely right, we couldn't be not involved into the war, not involved into the politics, not involved in everything what is going on. And this is really changed. I mean, former times, of course, management consultants were never involved in such a things. And this is what really I would like to stress on it, that it's very important to have these core values, which shouldn't be changeable. And of course, to be more people-centric, and to be centric to people who has the same values, core values as you are. So this is important.
Thank you for this. Yeah, this is a great lesson. Be more people-centric and value the community. And I think that not only countries that are affected by conflicts, but pretty much any country can learn from that. Can learn from the Ukraine example. Let's take a look at a couple more comments that are coming from Ron. I know he's very passionate about the topic. So he was saying before that one positive outcome, I guess he referred to Trump presidency, is that that EU could probably raise to the point of supporting more, and maybe that would be one outcome of the developments in the United States. Thank you, Ron, for saying that. We'll hope. And then also he was wishing CMC-Ukraine the best in these challenges days ahead. And thank you for your expertise and insights with us today, Olga. Keep up the great work you're doing. And I completely share these words from me as well. Thank you, Ron, for saying that. And I'm also extremely grateful to Olga for taking the time to talk to us about all the challenges and difficulties and achievements that management consultants of Ukraine, businesses and citizens face in Ukraine every single day during the war. And also, I just wanted to praise your extreme courage and resilience. Many thank you to all of you who joined us today to participate in this discussion and shared your questions, your perspectives, your opinions. Thank you also to Anya Al-Salem, who diligently managed the backstage of this show. We hope that you all enjoyed today's episode of Consulting Without Borders Perspectives. Please stay tuned for our next event, which traditionally will come on February 1st of next year. We're taking a little break at New Year, but we will be back on February 1st with our special event celebrating Gabriel's birthday, because it is a day of his birthday, and bringing you more insights on global challenges. We always do something very special on February 1st, so please stay tuned. And once again, I also would like to remind those who are watching and those who will be tuning in to the replay of the show that we are accepting applications for the International Award for Excellence in Consulting of this year. The deadline is fast approaching. It's December 15th, so please do not hesitate if you have excellent projects on global challenges, on developing your communities, on developing your nations. Please send it to us. We're always thankful, and it's so wonderful to get these applications. And you can find all of the relevant information, the criteria and the requirements and the application form on our foundation's website. So please do that. And again, our winners will all be welcome to this broadcast to talk more about their amazing work. In the meantime, I wish you all the very best for the first months of winter, and as we are coming into the holiday season, thank you again for being here today with us. Thank you, Olga. Wishing you strength and success, big things. However, we called it today during the broadcast, but most important, I wish Ukraine victory as soon as possible. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава. And thank you so much for everything you do. I'm sure Gabriel would be very happy of that. Thank you.
Yes, he would definitely support all this that we've been talking about. Thank you, Olga. Goodbye, everyone. See you in 2 months on February 1st.
Stay with Ukraine.
Bye. Yes.